Engineer Russell, now, despite
Yes,
your
sir.
global achievements across Australia and Asia, you proudly carry your La Carlota roots. Uh, so how did growing up in La Carlota City shape your character, your work ethics, and determination to succeed on the world stage?
Thank you for that question, sir. So, actually, sir, if I'm gonna recall everything, it really boils down with regards to my parents, how they brought up us. So it's more about like the discipline that they really instill in us. So since we are young or since we are a kid, nagaling kami, we came from a from not, kumbaga, a poor family.
Mm.
So, hindi ba kami siling nga very poor, kay makakaumang kami. But then, hindi ba kami siling manggaranon? It's because if you're going to see, both of my parents are working in the government. So, what we have is just only enough for everyone. So, we don't have enough money nga i-shopping sa Bacolod. The only the only thing that we have or the resources that we have is just like only enough for our day-to-day activity or day-to-day living. So from there, as the eldest among us, because we are like four in the family, it was really instilled in my mind that I need to stand, I need to become independent, and then I need to show my siblings and my family that I'm a good example. And then I also believe that both of my parents do have their own dreams also in their life. And then since they have their own family at that time, so there are like other dreams that they cannot push through about it. Since ara kami, they need to sacrifice, they need to feed us. So I realized that through me, I can able to give what they dreamed before, and then through me, I can able to make them proud. So from that aspect, it is really like a very big responsibility for me, not just like only a son from my family or from my parents, not just only a siblings from for my sister and brother, but then also to my relatives and then to my society. So I'm always thinking that it is really like a great privilege for me to study in TUP. It's because TUP is really like the molding curve of everything in my life or in my career. It's because without the TUPV, definitely I am nothing. So if you're going to see there, TUPV really gave me personally like the opportunity to become who I am right now. It's because of the hard work before, as you all know that, sir.
Yeah.
Sir Richard, grabe kaayo ang hard work, grabe kayo ang sacrifices, grabe kayo ang endurance, grabe kayo ang resiliency natin during the time. And then we need to be strong all throughout just for us to survive. The training in TUP is not that very easy to surpass. It's not that very easy to achieve. You need to hard work 10 times or even 100 times or infinite times. It's because the competition in TUPV is very strong. It is not just only about you're fighting for yourself. It is not only about like you're fighting for your classmates or for your professor, but then the bottom line there is that you are fighting for your future to become successful in the future. And then to become leader in the future. So that's what inspires me a lot. So even up until now, even right now, I'm having like a good job, a stable job here as a manager in Australia, and then also like a leader in terms of my field. But still, I'm looking back from where I came from. It's because it's always my responsibility to look back and then to serve the community where I came from. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. When you look back at your early academic journey at TUP, um, what core values or experiences from home kept you grounded and driven?
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Actually, sir, to tell you honestly, I'm very much inspired about my all my professors or all my instructors in TUP. But there's always like one teacher who really taught me a lot, like everything that really gives me like resiliency and then like passionate about my dreams, about my interests in life. And then that instructor is kabalo ko kung si Sino, si Miss
Eh,
Abalahon.
oh,
So, so Miss Mariana Balahon is one of masiling na akon before or masiling namon is one of the terror teachers because
yeah.
grabe gid siya kaayo ka passionate about sa craft about sa teaching. And then if you're going to say gamay lang makapasar siya, so probably it's more about her standards when it comes sa pagtudlo. But then what I learned about her is that it's not about like what you're thinking right now, but it's more about like how you prepare to reach your target. So it's not just about like thinking na, hey, we are like on the first week pasubong sa aton nga assessment this term. But then sa amon, we realize that we need to kumbaga mag-imbak na kami nga daan. We need to save grades for us to come up our target during the last na week sa semester. Because if we will not gonna reach the target, like say even five, then definitely we don't have the chance to surpass or to save or to pass the subject. So dako
Mhm.
siya kayo nga factor. So because of her, it really drives me to do more, to do better, and then to be serious about the subject. It's because she taught us the calculus, and then calculus is like the basic of everything, especially in math, sa engineering. And then the good thing about her, it's because she's making everything simpler and then easier for us to comprehend. So I didn't struggle a lot when it comes to a subject. It's because I am very much confident that I learned a lot from her. So yeah, she is really like my kumbaga my role model sa akin.
Many young Mangkasanos dream of making an impact in technical fields or working internationally. What advice would you give to a student in La Carlota City who might feel that big global opportunities are out of reach?
Okay, so that is a very good question. So, what I can say is that first, as a student right now, you need to focus with regards to your interest, with regards to your craft. So, you
Mhm,
need to assess yourself which part that you are really interested about with, and then which part that you are really growing, and then in which you are very much, you can say that you are very much effective. So, from there, you do have like the hint already what to do. So, like for example, if you're very much passionate when it comes to math, to engineering, to physics, to science, then I think that would be like the the cue for you to move forward to study engineering. It's because later on, once you're in a college or in the university, then that would be like the start of everything. It would be like your training ground in preparing you for the future. Definitely not just only in the Philippines, but then also international. So what I'm thinking about is that after you finish your degree, let us say in TUP or let us say in other universities in the Philippines, then you must touch base with regards to your local experience. Your local experience will also be like your stepping stone as well, preparing yourself to become much more productive, much more effective in the future, that in which you will not gonna say that, oh, makulture shock ka. You're not gonna say now, oh, this is very critical or this is so difficult for me. It's because from there in the Philippines, you are very much in reach of all the knowledge, in reach of all the theories, in reach of all the practical experience that you have gained. So when you came here overseas, that's the perfect time that you're gonna show the world what is the talent or how does a Filipino engineer works in the global aspect. So from there, you're always representing not just only yourself, but then you're representing your country as a whole. So from
mhm,
there, you become an inspiration, not just only for fellow Filipinos here overseas, but then also to the other nationalities or backgrounds here working in Australia or whole around the world. So I think it's more about like long-term preparation. So if you do have like a long-term preparation, if you do have like a long-term vision, then I'm 100% sure that you're going to reach for it, yeah, and be successful at the end.
mhm. Sige, take down notes ko din sila panghambal mo kasi lang. Sir,
Thank you,
um,
sir.
you hold multiple engineering degrees and are currently pursuing doctoral research in generative AI
That's
and
right.
digital twins. Now, this really sounds so interesting. How can your learners build the resilience and discipline required for, I mean, how can young learners
Mm-mm,
build the
mm-mm.
resilience and discipline required for a lifelong learning?
Correct. So basically, the key point there or the secret there is everything about time management. So time management is very much important for me. It's because if you don't have time management, then definitely you cannot able to plan ahead. Second is everything about my passion and my target to achieve. So I always put it in my mind that I do have like a long-term project or a long-term plan. So like for example, I am saying that I need to finish or I need to accomplish this particular project within this particular time or period. So it leads me to move to the next part, which is how am I going to do this? So from there, I can able to evaluate or assess what are my resources, what the things I need to do, who are those peoples or stakeholders that I need to tap on or to work with for me to able to reach my target. So like for example, when I am applying for a series of awards or applications, that is not just only like a pop-up in my mind, but then it is like a long-term plan. So I
Mhm.
always think that next year I will become the outstanding mechanical engineer. After that, I'm gonna become the fellow engineer. After that, I will become the another global awardee. So everything is being planned. And anchoring to that, you cannot able to reach that without the hard work and sacrifices. So I need to sacrifice not just only about my current time or my previous time, but then it's like a long, continuous journey or process. So I never stop, even though sometimes it's so tiring. Kakapoy kaayo sa pangabuhi, especially that you are juggling everything about your studies and then your career as a manager here. I do have like two sites or two office here in Sydney, and then I'm also looking after for Melbourne, Brisbane, and Adelaide or other states. But then I always remember that kabudlay sa pangabuhi sa Pilipinas, and in here I need to do more. It's because my situation is way better compared to my situation in the Philippines if ara ko didto. It's because if you're going to see, bisan diin ka pa nga part, kakapoy gid siya mangita ubra or mangita kwarta. But the good thing about here, it's because I do have like, kumbaga, a bigger opportunity. I can earn more compared sa Pilipinas. Sa Pilipinas, kapoy gyapon, bisan ka ubra ka, diri kapoy man ka gyapon, pero at least here, you're receiving, kumbaga, more than enough ba nga money or nga salary which you can buy or you can support your family. So from there, I'm very much inspired. It's because I can see that, like, for example, nakuha ko nga muna nga certain award, nga certain target, na certain project na accomplish ko siya over time. So it drives me again to do more, to reach more. So I never stop. So that is like my, kumbaga, my fuel. It fuels me to drive more. So, like for example, if you're gonna ask me right now, what's your plan after this? Na ma-finish na ko na akong doctorate in AI, because I still have 2 years to finish or to accomplish. So what I'm planning about is that after I finish my doctorate in 2028, I'm gonna pursue my postdoctorate in Oxford or in London for just like even a year. So after I master everything about the digital twin technology, then I'm gonna come back here in Australia and then I'm gonna implement everything and then I'm gonna work with the government and then do series of consultancy works and support research grants and kumbaga mag-teach ko sa uni so that I can able to expand the knowledge that I gained all throughout. Yeah.
Mm. So there's a trajectory of goals para sa imo.
Yes, sir. I always
Mhm.
think long term. It's because I'm always thinking that ang aton nga life ba or aton kabuhi ba isa lang niya kabilog. So we need to, kumbaga, we need to plan ahead. We need to enjoy while we are journeying about our target, about our, kumbaga, our dreams. So I am really enjoying about my life right now. It's because I can see that, kumbaga, my purpose ko ba, I can see that everything comes to a certain purpose now. Oy, hey, I'm gonna do this. It's because it can contribute a lot, not just only for self-sufficiency or for self-knowledge, but then it can able to create change for the
Mm.
betterment of the people, for the betterment of the society, and then later on, it can able to drive new things na makahelp sa society or sa technology to advance, and then also for to highlight the safety sa workplace. So I think that is the most important part there.
So, in your recent feature with the Global Filipino magazine, you
Mm-mm.
spoke about realizing that your work shapes lives, not just systems. Can you share a moment in your career that changed how you view engineering purposes?
Yeah. Okay. So I said about that, it's because I'm always thinking that when you are studying engineering, it's not just only about thinking the subject or like the career or like say the course or the degree as a mechanical engineer. But primarily what I'm thinking about is that what is the output or what is the outlook or the result of everything that you are studying or you're doing. So based on my experience way back in the Philippines when I was working, that was like 10 years ago, I realized that because of the system that we are enhancing, we are remodeling, we are recalibrating, we're able to make things easier for the people. So which includes the technicians, which includes engineers, which includes stakeholders, either internal or external. So from there, you can able to change everything for towards convenience and sustainability. It's because the main drive of engineering is to provide sustainable development, is to answer questions, queries, and that in which engineering is the one who can able to answer or to provide solution. So for me, because of that advancement or because of that sustainability driven program that we are creating, we're able to make things easier, convenient, and faster. So even before, like for example, without that particular program that we created, let us say in the water systems, it really take time for them to accomplish everything. But then right now, if you're going to see, there are like a lot of models, a lot of tools that you can use to faster or to improve the system more easily and then more convenient. So instead of like finishing it like say 3 months, 2 months, then people can able to finish it in like a week. It's because they have tools, they have machineries. So the only thing for us is to train them, to give them knowledge how to use it, and then to become much more effective. And then the good thing about engineering is also it is more accurate, and then it is more standardized. So from there, from the point or from the point that you are saying that it is more standardized, it is more accurate, you're like delving yourself in a quality of service that your client is looking after or is expecting coming from you. So you are compliant when it comes to quality service, like let us say sa ISO 9001, sa QMS, even sa ISO 14001 for the EMS or environmental management system. So, kumbaga, you are making things easier and faster for everyone at the same time compliant ka sa standards. That is what being expected from you.
How can modern technology and sustainable engineering like AI and green infrastructure be used to create real positive impacts for local communities back home?
But okay, correct. So if you're going to see right now here in Australia, we have the technology, we have the resources. The main point there is we have enough resources here. It's because we came from a first world, or we are in a first world country right now. But if you're going to look back, Philippines is coming from a third world country, which is, kumbaga, less performer, less resources,
Yeah.
even manpower, lesser when it comes to technological background or education, lesser pagid gihapon. When it comes sa experience, no experience at all. So even the attitude of the Filipinos, you can say siguro may ara siguro nga ano gid pisan, hardworking, but the majority is not really. They don't like challenge. So that's what really I'm thinking about the culture of the Filipinos, which is somehow maging stagnant ka, or that somehow that needs to be developed. There are other who are really hardworking, but then mostly majority makita gid yan nimo nga they love magmarites or magtambay without doing anything to improve themselves. So what I'm thinking about this particular project, if you're gonna imply or if you're gonna implement this one in the Philippines, this will be like a very big boost when it comes sa productivity and operations sa Philippine platforms or sa Philippine setup. It's because from there, if you're going to say we are still using the manual, like tanan mano-mano, we don't
Mhm.
have the technology, we don't have the technical skills, we don't have the resources to implement what needs to be done. So my suggestion or my recommendation is that we need first to educate the people. How does the technology, kumbaga, do or how this technology can be used? And then we need to start from the scratch or from the beginning through literatures. It's because those literatures are very much important as a baseline or like as a reference for everyone. It's because you cannot just jive or draw yourself straight away with the machineries or with the technology without the solid background. So like for example, if we're gonna relate that to TUP, we cannot just join TUP straight away if you don't have the capacity to solve even
Yeah.
a simple mathematical equation, or
Mm,
like even a simple lang gid siya nga dialogue. So it's very easy for us to go beyond. It's because we do have like a solid background. So
yeah.
if we don't have a stored knowledge, so it will be difficult for us. So going back there, we need to provide resources from the literature or the baseline data for them, especially when it comes to government. It's because the decision maker is always the government. So if the government doesn't emphasize or doesn't know about what are these things, they don't have knowledge about this, they don't appreciate kung anong yung nga impact sa people or sa community. So we need to educate the leaders first. And from there, once they're educated, then we can create a recommendation or a solid program how we can start from plan A, or like say this month up until on a 10th year, or like a series of programs. Kaya hindi siya siling on the spot, we will gonna implement this. It will be like a phase by phase or a stages siya.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
first is we need to educate the government or the leader. Second is we need to provide references for
mhm,
them as their baseline. Third, we need to create an action plan, like a
mhm,
thorough long-term action plan, from designing to implementation to testing and commissioning and counter-checking. And then lastly is everything about like putting the machineries or the tools itself to provide like a training sa tanan na, hey, this is it, amo na ni siya. So from there, you need like series of experts to assess the people or to assess the government as well.
mhm.
So from that from that perspective, I can say that the government or the Philippines must need to embrace international collaboration so that they can able to adapt what is currently being on demand, and then how we can able to implement that in the Philippines as well. It's because the bottom line there is that look, right now we are on a 2026, but still our lifestyle there in the Philippines is way back 2000 or even 19, let us say 1990. So we are way behind sa other countries. And then if you're going to see the ranking before, do ka sad lang gid siya. It's because ang Philippines was very fast before during 1970s when it comes to economy. And then right now, if you're going to see, tayo sa bottom part na. So naunahan na tas ang Thailand, naunahan tas ang Malaysia, naunahan tas ang other Asian countries. But
Mm.
before, wala gina sila sa aton. So we need to grow, and then we need to accept the challenge right now. Because if we will not gonna start right now, then when are we going to start? Yeah.
Being named one of the 10 Global Filipino Icons and featured in the 100 Global
Mm-mm.
Filipino Engineers publication is a huge honor for La Carlota City. What does it mean to you to bring this pride back to your hometown?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that question. So for me, I'm very much lucky. I am very much honored to be named as one of the 10 global Filipino icon in Dubai, and then also as named as one of the 100 global Filipino engineer recently. So what I can say about is that because of this recognition that I receive right now, it drives me to do more, to do better, especially in the future that in which I am preparing for. And then I wanted to become a role model, not just only in my hometown in La Carlota City, but then also in the Philippines as a whole. So if you're going to say I wanted to become a role model that if I can do it, then definitely you can do it. I can show the world that a simple person like me who came from a very humble and simple family in La Carlota, in Verto, in La Carlota City, able to reach his dream, a young boy who really worked hard, who really struggles a lot to reach his dreams, and then to make his parents and then his community proud. So from there, I can say that you can able to do it as well. So it is like also a learning curve for me that even if I receive this recognition globally, but still my faith is rooted, my culture, I still embrace my culture. I'm still humble person. Kumbaga ginalanto ko gid gyapon kung sa diin ko naghalin. I always look back kung ano ang mga blessings nga na-receive ko kay Lord. And then from there, I always celebrated it with my family and then to the people who loves me and then also who believes in my capacity. So
Mm.
I'm thinking, sir, that this would be like a voice for the voiceless before. This would be like an opportunity also for the people before that makahambal ka nga gi-questionin mo yourself that ma-reach ko gid kaya ang akon nga dreams or akon nga handom sa akong pangabuhi coming from pigado nga pamilya, coming from I don't have the resources, but now I can answer those questions that it's not about only money, but then it's everything about hard work and then not stopping from your dreams. So from there, I can say that tanan-tanan nga grasya, basta may Diyos ka, makuha gini mo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sige. Um, how do you envision the global Filipino engineering community contributing to nation building and supporting local talent in Negros Occidental?
Okay. So for me, what I'm thinking about it is that the global community, the global engineering community can able to encourage, especially the young generation there in Negros Occidental, to have like an interest, especially when it comes to STEM application. It's because nowadays, if you're going to see, the technology is really evolving very fast. We already have the AI, we already have like technological growth. We already have everything that right now, which is very much on demand. So if you're going to see, engineering is one of the one of the most on-demand work or job, not just only not just only in the Philippines, but then also overseas. And then from there, if you're going to see, if you're going to encourage young generation to embed themselves in studying STEM or in studying engineering, for sure they're gonna be much more successful. They can able to contribute also like a Filipino talent. And then from there, they can able to show the world how the Filipino engineer works. It's because if you're going to see right now, there are plenty of Filipino engineers all around the world that are very much successful on their different crops. So, like for example, in my aspect or in my field, I'm a mechanical engineer. I do have also other friends who are related in software, who are related in electrical, who are related in civil, and then they're really like the cream of the crop. So from there, you can say that they're very much successful also on their crops as well. But then if you're going to see in our aspect right now, the only point there is that those young generations or those young people or young Filipinos do need like a solid support coming from the government. And then this global organization can able to provide assistance or collaboration to the local government to create a program that can encourage and enhance young people's capacity or capability to drive and then to do good or to do more. So like for example, i-share lang ni Nakon right now, if you're going to see here in Australia, we do have like um I do have here like one of my interest or one of the things that I'm very much into right now is the let me double check, which really captured my interest last night. This is everything. Wait lang, sir, ha? This is everything about uh, space engineering. So this is everything about the Viasat. So the Viasat is a Space for Good Australia program. So
Mhm.
this particular program or this particular engagement with a private company, which is the Viasat, they really supports new ideas. So like new hypotheses coming from students, coming from those bright minds. So the
Mhm.
Viasat, as I remember, the Viasat also opens in the US, in London, and even in India. And then right now they are here in Australia. And then they're encouraging students here who is like um studying engineering, studying IT, all those students who are really keen about like programming and AI to join the Viasat, which is really like an opportunity for young generations or for the young minds who are very much interested when it comes to space, so space exploration. So So if you'll need to damo sa sir categories, they do have like 11 categories. And then the bottom line there is you're going to compete. You're going to create a hypothesis or an idea to
Mm,
develop more when it comes to space engineering. And then
mhm,
they do have like a very big kumbaga prize because the first will be receiving, I think it would be like $40,000, and then the second will be like $20,000, and then the third will be like I think $10,000. So if you're going to say it's a big money already, and then from there you're going to create a model. So dako siya kaayo kumbaga nga challenge, especially if you are into engineering, into IT, into systems. It's because you can create something new that they can able to study or to adopt and then to develop all throughout that can be helpful. So it also includes environmental sustainability. It also includes AI in space. It also includes about like risk management. So like for example, if you're familiar about the LiDAR, so LiDAR is very much instrumental when it comes to like risk management, especially when it comes to flood flood mapping, landslide prone areas. So ginagamit man na siya ang LiDAR sa UP before. And then I really know about LiDAR. It's because we do have like one subject in UP, which is the R. That same goes sa LiDAR. They're also using R and then the land satellite. So ini siya, dako gid siya kaayo nga kumbaga nga program nga maka-encourage sa young generations to to study and then to involve themselves in STEM. So same goes in Negros Occidental. So the government can able to partner with international community like us here who can able to support programs to showcase those real talents or those real programs para sa mga Filipino and then Negrense talents there. Yeah. So I have it here. So what I can say is, as a global engineer, I
mhm,
see technology as a bridge. We do not just write code or design system in isolation. We solve human problems that reach across borders. For
mm,
me, the true power of engineering is how it brings diverse teams together when different cultures and perspectives meet. Innovation happens naturally. So I am driven by the challenge of making complex systems simple, reliable, and accessible for everyone on Earth. I want to build a future where our work empowers communities no matter where they are. So given from that, I can say that from my fellow Mangkasanon, don't give up on your dreams. It's because your dreams will fuel you in reaching your goal in the future. The hard work and the challenges are just only temporary. So if you are experiencing right now na kapoy na, budlay, they're all kumbaga normal. You are in a normal situation. You need to endure that to become much more resilient and be ready to lead and then to explore more for yourself and then for the future. There is no other person or people who can save you but just only yourself. So, enduring the hard work, enduring the pain, enduring the sacrifices will transform you to a much more stronger, more resilient, and much more powerful person. So from there, mambal ko na, don't lose hope. Everything will come on past, and then from there you can able to achieve your goals. Just pray hard and then trust the process. Amo gina
mm.
ko mahambal.